Hey guys, Ray here from Big Shark Gaming. Today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I'm gonna be playing Pokemon Showdown as I talk about this, but I just want to talk to you guys because I know a lot of like our fans are younger, and as like I'm checking analytics and I'm seeing like we're starting to get fans from all over the place. I just want to say thank you for that. Um, the subscriber count doesn't really justify exactly where we are at this point, but I've been thinking a lot lately about like people and like just as I'm on like the second of like a very long stretch of work right now, I just wanted to really like reflect on things, especially with tomorrow being Thanksgiving in the United States. And I know like it's normally a day of like I'm thankful for this, I'm thankful for that, but like why is that the case, right? Why does it got to be like I'm thankful on Thanksgiving? Um, and I just wanted to give you guys like a little bit of like an inspirational speech where it's just like growing up, like the last few years of my life, prior to like the last 2 years, because the last 2 years of my life have been pretty great. Um, things weren't always so great, and I dealt with a lot of anger, and I dealt with like a lot of like depression, and a lot of like different feelings that like I know everybody goes through, and I know that like I've gotten through it, but not everybody does. And now I'm in a much better place as my opponent just like decides he wants to check out. Um, but yeah, I feel like I'm in a much better place in my life, and like in the last year since I've moved to Oneonta, I've achieved like a great deal amount. I went from working for like an hourly wage to what I'm doing now in less than a year. And like for that just shows that like you just gotta keep your head up. And like I know it's hard, and I know that like it's really difficult sometimes to like think, oh, like I had a shitty day. Oh, I gotta go to school and school sucks. I gotta go to work and work sucks. But like I've been one of my like big mantras my entire life was keep work at work and home at home. And I know that's hard to do. I know like some days you just get stressed out, and it's the same for school. Like keep school at school and keep home home. Unless like there's something going on in school that you need to talk about. If you're getting bullied or harassed or whatever, like that's something that you need to talk about. Um, and that's the thing. Like we live in this world where like there's such this huge taboo on like seeking help and getting help because like it paints this picture that there's something wrong with you. It paints this picture that like you have some kind of issue that you're crazy, and like that's not the case. Like you're not crazy. You just live in a really crazy world, and we live in a world that's constantly changing, and we live in a world that's constantly adapting to the things it has to adapt to. People forget that our world is a living place, and it's constantly going to throw hurdles at you, but that's okay. And it's okay to say, hey, listen, I need help. You know, and there's therapists there for a reason, and there's people who are willing to let you talk and provide you help. Um, and you know that's something that you should look for and take care of because you got to take care of yourself. My mom always told me that you're your own number one, and that should be, you know, what you run on because it's true. You are your own number one, and no one's going to be there for you as much as you're going to be there for you. No one's going to spend as much time with you as you're going to spend with yourself. And you need to make sure at the end of the day that you take care of you, if that makes sense. And like if you're sitting there and you're like, damn, I'm not happy. Um, by nature, you should be happy. By nature, you should not, be unhappy. And you know, it's hard to explain, but like, if you're not happy, there's something wrong. I don't mean like there's something wrong with you. I just mean like there's something like there's some underlying issue that like there's people there who want to listen to and figure out and try and help and get you to be happy, and you should take advantage of that. Um, as far as like things go, I also want to talk about like the fact that it's okay to not like certain things. Like it's okay to not like school. It's okay to not like work. It's okay to think that you're not ready to grow up. Um, it's okay to sit there and be like, man, I'm just not ready yet. Because you know what? I'm 26 now, and I think back to like when I graduated high school a long time ago at this point. Um, and it was a long time. Um, so when I got out of high school, I wasn't anywhere ready for what I wanted to do. I had no idea coming out of high school what I wanted to study, what I wanted to do. And you know what? I went to college and I was kind of like forced into doing something that I didn't really necessarily want to do. And it sucked. And I hated it. And ultimately ended up dropping out of college for the first time. And it led to a lot of turmoil, led to a lot of like issues between me and me and my dad mainly, because he was paying for it. Um, but like, it was something that could have been really avoidable had I just had a better idea. But the problem with that is high school does not prepare you, and like I feel like this is where the issue is really like, high school does not prepare you for life. High school is not specialized enough to say, hey, this is what you're going to take interest in. This is what you're going to want to do. And you know what? Like, that sucks because it's like now you get out of college. I mean, you get out of high school and you head into college where you need to like, okay, this is what I'm going to want to learn. This is what I'm going to want to do. And then you can't even bring yourself to do that because you have to take all these fucking required classes. You got to take all these fucking like requirements and prerequisites. Like, say you want to study psychology and you're forced to take math. Why are you forced to take math? I don't fucking know. Like, psychology has nothing to do with math. Like, for me, originally, I wanted to study herpetology, which is the study of reptiles and lizards. And I am reptiles and amphibians, sorry. And I couldn't because there was no programming. So I just went to college with no major on my mind, nothing like that. And like those of you who know me now, I ended up majoring in anthropology and sub-majoring in journalism, um, which is kind of what led to Big Shark Gaming. But like, to be fair, I studied anthropology as a requirement on for like my sorry, I'm trying to like navigate my way through this game, and it's just really not working for me right now. But like yeah, it was one of the prerequisites, and I was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna take it because I need to take it. And I started liking anthropology, but nothing in high school had prepared me for liking anthropology. Nothing. and like I figured it out on my own. And you know what? I feel like this is something that like we as a species can do more of now, because like we have internet, we have like um, ways to get exposed to things that we might like, and that's one of the big things. Like when you're going to school, especially like 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, when you went to school, you didn't really like know what you want to do. It was kind of just like, well, people are gonna be this, people are gonna be that, people are gonna be this, so I want to be that. Um, and like you don't really think, well, I don't want to be that because of this reason. And like I feel like now, we live in a day and age where like it's so much easier for us to, you know, receive exposure. And I'm sorry if this sounds like really choppy because like I don't know exactly. I'm not really good at speaking. I do have like anxiety and, whew, but yeah, no, like I think that like I took a break from college and I feel like it was one of the best things I did because it helped me in going back, and it helped me in deciding what I wanted to study. Because after, I learned, I didn't even know what anthropology was until I got into college. Once I did learn what it was, and once I found out that, like, all right, I like this. Because after that, I took some time and I, like, started looking more into anthropology. What is it? What is it about? What is this? What are the subsects? Oh, archaeology is part of it. Oh, cool. Oh, linguistics is part of it. Oh, that's so great. Um, Also, there's physical anthropology, forensic anthropology, there's biological anthropology. There's so many different subsects of anthropology. Oh wow, I didn't know that like theology and physiology and psychology were all like grandfathers into what became anthropology. Wow, this is really cool. I didn't know any of this. Wow, now I know this. Now I'm exposed to it. Now I'm interested to it. And like the most important thing is that exposure. Getting exposed to something that you didn't know, and like I wouldn't have ever like had that opportunity to find out something that I genuinely really care about and something that I really wanted to study if I didn't take a break and like realize that it's something that I have interest in, that I had just hadn't been exposed to yet. So I feel like if you don't know what you want to do with your life coming out of high school and you don't know what you want to study, and I know like so many people just like go for the easy, quote unquote easy, um, majors. Like people will study um, like criminal justice or accounting or studio art or like um, psychology or like shit that just because they hear it a lot, and like they hear it and hear it and hear it and they're exposed to it, so that's what they know. But there's so many jobs out there that you might not know even exist, and like you're not going after them, you're not pursuing them because you simply don't know about them. So like what I recommend doing is like if you don't know what you want to be when you come out of high school, don't rush it. We live in this world where like there's infinite amount of like growability. There's infinite amounts of like time to figure it out. And I don't mean like infinite as in like forever, but like we live in a day and age now where like 55 isn't old. We live in a day and age now where 60 isn't old. So if you come out of high school at 17 or 18, you don't have to rush to college. Because you think about it this way, if you go to a 4-year school, you'll be 22. And I get, you're like, you want to get into work, you want to start making money, you want to like retire early as possible. But it's not always about that. It's about, like what I said before, like being happy and finding something that makes you happy. And like, this way you could go home and like not like confuse work and home, but everything kind of becomes just like your life. Um, I suggest like if you don't know what you're doing after high school because you haven't really been exposed to something, or even if you do know what you want to be, or you think you know what you want to be, you might start studying it and be like, wow, this is not what I want to do, and that's fine because you're young and you have time to like experiment and expose yourself to new things. I think like a big tip and something that I wish that somebody had told me when I was younger was we have this powerful source now where it's grown infinitely, the internet, and it's this great thing, and it's being used really incorrectly in the sense of like bullying and like all this other shit. But did you know that you could use it to look up things and research things? Research jobs that you've never heard of. Find out I guarantee before the start of this video, and I mentioned herpetology, I bet you didn't know what it was because most people don't. Um, and like I feel like there's so many jobs out there that like you've just never heard of, and you might do job research and like just search jobs you've never heard of, and you might like, oh, that's so cool. I didn't even know that was a possibility. And like next thing you know, you find a school that has that, and you know you're studying it, and you're happy, and you're like, wow, this is great. And that could have been a missed opportunity. So like my word of advice is don't rush. When you come out of high school, you're so young, and like there's so much time to just achieve and really grow. If you get done with college and you're 30 years old and you're looking to retire by 55, you still can. 25 years of work. You could still, I should have used U-turn there. You could still retire at 55, 60. You'll still have time, and you'll be happy because you studied what you wanted to study. Like, I never even knew that I can study how food affects culture. I never knew I could sit there and be like, what the fuck? Like, the things chocolate was used for, and like, seeing how like being overweight in some cultures is a sign of like prosperity and wealth, like, and good health. Like, it's crazy to think that like the things that I've learned in anthropology that I would not have ever learned had I not been exposed to it. So the biggest things for like growing up and like trying to like find something you like to do is exposure, and you can't be exposed unless you're looking, or you just happen to come across it, which is really rare. So look, find things that like Google things that you're interested in, and like as far as like what I said earlier in this conversation, if you're not happy, find a reason to be happy, because there's no reason why you shouldn't be. And like either you know the problem and you're just trying to root it out, or you don't know the problem, which in that case I think you should seek help and try and find out what the problem is, because there's nothing wrong with you, and there never has been. But yeah, thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I just wanted to like rant a little bit and play some Pokemon. I'll take a break from Sun and Moon. The second battle between Jay and I'm gonna record in about like 20 minutes. It's Monday, so I'll probably have that up later on today. Only problem with that is I have to record it with my phone. So I have to like put my phone on the side, but and just not fuck with it because it will fuck up the upload. But yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know if this helped you at all. Like, I'm here for you guys. I couldn't do this without you guys. Jay couldn't do this without you guys. Kelly, is Kelly. She just does it just because it's fun and funny. But like, you guys mean a lot to us, and we wouldn't be able to continue doing this without you guys and your support. But yeah, if you need any help, like, obviously, like, I'm not qualified to offer help, but I could always like sit there and try and like recommend as much as I can. But thanks for watching, and thanks for your continued love and support. See you later. Stay sharky, my friends.